He's starting to add that detail in the final third. He's always an animal to get past anyway when it comes defensively. Now he's taking his game to a next level.
I mean, this Liverpool team, each week, we wonder, is this going to be the time where they drop points, where they aren't able to find a way to get anything out of a game? And time again, Nige, they just seem to be able to find an answer. What did Liverpool show you today?
They showed me that they're serious about trying to win the Premier League title. Yes, you might see him as drop points, but they did go down a man in Antonee Robinson being sent off for a red card play, dangerous tackle, so to speak, last man as well. But the determination that Liverpool showed, the character that they showed to still come out with 2 points. And watching that game, you'd have felt that Fulham were the team that was a man down with how Liverpool played. So credit to them. Yes, they dropped points. It gives a bit more of an appetite for those teams, chasing them, a bit more belief that they might be able to catch them. But that's what teams who win Premier League titles do. They just still find a way, even when they face adversity and being a man down.
They only have one loss in the season. It's Nottingham Forest at home. It's just a bizarre result for them. But again, you prepare all week for different situations, different ways to play, and they are always foot on the gas pedal, full throttle, steam ahead. Robertson takes a bad touch. He's the last man. It's a reckless challenge, gets the red card. Obviously, you can't prepare for that pretty early on in the game, but still, you wouldn't know that they had a man down. They continued to go for the game. They continued to. They looked at some points that they were going to go and win the game and go and beat Fulham. Credit to Fulham that they stood strong. They also didn't really adjust, and they tried to go for the third as well. So it made for a really fantastic game. The last 20 minutes was just end to end, and it could have went either way. But Liverpool come away with a deserved 2-2 draw. I think at the end of the red card really did affect the game, as they always do.
You're not going to be perfect, right, for Liverpool. I mean, you can't have a perfect season where you're winning every single game. But I think the belief when you're watching this match and you know that Liverpool's going to find a way, and Diego Jota, who's brilliant in scoring the goal, that shows you that they're going to fight for the title. And I mean, it could be a big point for Chelsea, who will have to play tomorrow and who are fighting in the title race, who I didn't expect to be there. Yeah. And Arsenal stepping up help. Man City against Manchester United. So very interesting race in Premier League.
It makes it better for the race, and he is a big plus to come back as well to Liverpool. It's a great point.
Nige, how much of this current title race is Liverpool just being head and shoulders better than everyone else, or teams just not playing to the highest level in their potential this season, like in Arsenal or Manchester City?
Liverpool have been consistent. They've played at such a high level from the start of the season all the way to this point. It's not really so much about other teams not living up to it, because Chelsea have surprised us and they've come out as a real dark horse. Arsenal had a little bit of a blip and now they've picked it up. You've got to give credit to Liverpool. They've just been performing at such a high level consistently. And it's every single player. It's not just one or two players. Yes, Salah's getting a lot of plaudits for his goal-scoring antics, but every player. Van Dijk plays his part. You had can't even get my words out right about now. Kelleher, the goalkeeper, came in for Alisson. Now Alisson's back in. He performed at such a high level. So everyone has stepped up to the plate, and it's been a squad effort with this Liverpool and why they are where they are.
Speaking of excellent performances, Antonee Robinson with 2 assists today for Fulham, which begs the question, is this guy the best wing-back in the Premier League? Nige, what say you?
In the Premier League?
In the Premier League, in Europe, in the world?
In the Premier League, it will definitely probably be hard to argue against that, I would say. But then again, some
what
people
you're saying
would
in
say,
the green room.
Some people would say Cucurella. Cucurella will give him a run for his money as well.
What do you say?
You might not like his hair.
I don't care what other people say. We're asking you the question.
I mean, for me, it becomes a personal preference. I've always been a big fan of him. I think that for me, if he improved in the final third, I felt that that's what he needs to do. And today was one of the best games where he's actually showed that now. He's starting to add that detail in the final third. He's always an animal to get past anyway when it comes defensively. Now he's taking his game to a next level. So for Premier League, I would say it will be hard to argue against it. I would say Cucurella might be someone that challenges him. But when you're taking it into the world domain now, you've got the likes of Mendy at Real Madrid. You've got Mendes at PSG. You've also got the likes of Di Marco, who will be up there, arguably. So for me, at that level, Theo Hernandez as well. So at that world level, he has got other competition, but Premier League, hard to argue.
Yeah, we had a conversation with one of our producers in the back, and the question he brought up was, is he world class? And the answer for me is no, even though I think he's grown so much.
What are your criteria for world class for a player?
I think you just know, right? It's something that you just know about football. Yeah, there's no definition, right? Like you can't define everything, right? But it's something that you feel. When you're world class, you're at the highest level, and So the next question was, well, is he top 5 left back? And the answer I still think is no. Now, this is not to take anything away from him. I think he's a fantastic player that's grown a lot. I think there's still room for growth. He was awesome on the field today. But when you think of the likes of Cambiasso, Di Marco, Theo, Guardiol, Cucurella, Robertson, Alphonso Davies, there's so many guys that I think, Grimaldo, that are just a step above him at the moment. Not to say that he can't get there. So that's where I am.
You listed a lot of names. Would you put Antonee Robinson in the top 10 in the world?
Top 10, yeah.
Didn't we just name 10 guys?
Yeah. I don't know, yeah.
I wasn't keeping track.
It's pretty close. I'm saying I don't know if we got to 10 or 9 if he makes it.
He's right there. I think the fact that he's in the conversation says a lot about the talent that he has, the consistency that he's shown today, obviously with the 2 assists, but also the spirit and the attitude and the wit that he could bring to the team. I do agree, though, if we're talking about the elite, the world class, the names that you guys mentioned, I wouldn't put him there. But the fact that he's fighting and he's also playing at Fulham, which is very different than playing at some of the big teams.
That's the point I wanted to say. He's at Fulham. No disrespect to Fulham, great club, been there many times. But there's a different expectancy when you go to a bigger club. When you go to the likes of a Man United and Inter and AC, there's a different pressure and a different microscope. So he goes to Liverpool. We don't know how he's going to continue. Is he going to continue to progress? Is he going to continue to embrace that when every game you play, you're expected to win? You're expected to be at 8 and 9 out of 10 week in, week out. So there's a different pressure right now. Right now at Fulham, it's great. They're exceeding expectations again over Marco Silva. They're doing a fantastic job. Having the time of his life, he's on fantastic form. But to say that world class, you have to be playing at a top team, playing Champions League football and doing it year in, year out to ever get that kind of
the counter to that, though, is if you do go to a top team, you have better players around you, and that could also help your game, and it could elevate you to a new level. It's just a kind of wait-and-see moment, and he's somebody they got to keep your eye on. And when you're watching Fulham play and you're seeing them playing these epic matches against Liverpool, he's the one that stands out to you more than any other player.
Robinson has 12 assists for Fulham going back to last season, and in that span is the most of any defender in the Premier League, which has to mean something, Grella.
Certainly does. He's a very good player, for sure.
He's a great player. Yeah. But I know a great left-back, too, who didn't really get the likes of it. You know, my mate Leighton Baines, he was another player that people didn't really know too much about, but he was an absolute baller.
All right. Before we go, world class, yes or no, Antonee Robinson?
It's not world class yet, no.
No.
The definition that I usually use is if you're building a team and there's only one team in the world, would he be in there? And I don't think that you could say that he would.
All right. Well,
that's not to take anything away, though.
No.
A good draw either way for Fulham today, taking on the league leaders Liverpool, who still remain on top, 5 points clear of Chelsea in second.